Right. Hi everyone, welcome to the Sport Any today. So this is episode 10 of the IPL Zone. So today we've got alongside Deep Prakash, who's a Gujarat Titans fan. He's an avid fan. He follows IPL regularly. So today we are going to discuss first of all the yesterday's match, which was the thriller. One-sided affair between Rajasthan Royals versus Kolkata Knight Riders, and then we'll also discuss about today's, which is Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat Titans, which is vital for both the teams today. So we got Deep joining us. Deep, how are you doing? And how's the IPL going for you?
Yeah, I'm fine, and I'm really looking forward to today's game between Mumbai Indians and Gujarat Titans because it will really decide the fate of so many teams, and they will also keep a close eye on the result of this particular game.
Yes, I agree. All right. Let's discuss about today's match between RR versus KKR first before coming to today's match of GT versus MI. So coming first of all, Deep, KKR at Eden Gardens put up only 149 for six, I think, in overs. Did you think that score was enough, especially with the way that KKR have been performing at Eden Gardens, especially, they've been shuffling their batting order a lot, especially. Right now they do stick with Roy and Goodbas, but they were shuffling that opening order, and then they were changing the number three position as well. So your thoughts, especially with the batting performance of RR, sorry, KKR, yeah.
So I think Trent Bolt's first spell decided the game yesterday. So the way he bowled to KKR's opening batters, Jason Roy and Rahmanullah Gurbaz. So once KKR lost those two quick wickets early in the game, I think that's where it was kind of done to them because if you look at KKR's success this particular season, like one of their openers had performed well in that particular game. Either it was Roy or it was Gurubaz or it was Venki Iyer or it was any other opener that they tried. So once they lost those two quick wickets, then it was very difficult. So they went to that consolidation phase. And then Sanju used the bowlers very well in that consolidation phase. And once they started going after bowlers, and then he introduced Yuzi Chahal. So first of all, he used 2 overs of Joe Root, and those 2 overs were very good from Rajasthan Royals perspective because Joe Root didn't give so many runs. So that's when they bring in Yuzvendra Chahal, and then Yuzvendra Chahal had that kind of luxury that he doesn't have to control the economy rate right now. So
Yeah.
his role was to take wickets, and I think that's where KKR lost the plot and RR won the game because if you
Hmm.
see Chahal's spell, he got 4 wickets in that game, and at least
Yes.
all the mid order collapsed while taking on Yuzvendra Chahal. So I
Yeah.
think the bowling
Uh,
changes and how Sanju rotated the bowlers was the key.
Yes, I agree. Your thoughts, especially Joe Root being brought up against two left-handers, because we know the matchup that certain teams have done in the past haven't worked out in certain matches. Like Punjab Kings, they brought in Livingston in that, and then Harpreet Brab they avoided with left-handers, and then they lost that match. And yesterday, Sanju actually brought in Joe Root, two left-handers when Venkatesh Iyer and Nitish Rana was batting. So your thoughts on that?
I think Rajasthan was very lucky because Joe Root did really well against KKR, and especially when Nitish Rana and Venkatesh Iyer was batting. And in the same match, Nitish Rana used the same trick when he opened the bowling against Yashasvi Jaiswal, and that completely changed the momentum of the game. So
Yeah.
these are the matchups that can go either way. So you should be very clever with the matchup. It's not just like a right arm off spinner against a left arm bowler or a right arm leggy against the left arm. So
Hmm.
there should be a logic behind that, something else.
Yes. I agree. And your thoughts about Shardul Thakur this season, because we know he hasn't been delivering much with the ball. He's not been that consistent. He's been having injuries, he's not being 100% fit. He performed one match with the bat and got one of the match, but otherwise we haven't seen much of Thakur's brilliance this season. Your thoughts, especially after leaving CSK, he's really not got that groove or mojo in his bowling. So that's a bit of a concern, I would feel.
Uh, I think KKR is not the right ground for a bowler like Shardul Thakur. He was very good with Chennai, and he would have been an asset if he had played in Delhi, or he had been an asset had he played in,
Chennai.
I would say, a Gujarat kind of a pitch. But
Okay.
on Kolkata kind of setup, I don't think Shardul Thakur fits right now. But they are seeing Shardul Thakur as someone. So if you combine Shardul Thakur plus Dre Russ, you can get 4 overs from them.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of role that they are looking for Shardul Thakur to fill in.
Hmm. And also talking about KKR, do you think they could have moved on from Sunil Narayan? Because I mean, Sunil Narayan hasn't had the best of seasons. I mean, when you have a David Weiss in the bench, perhaps they could have utilized him, or even an overseas fast bowler. Do you think sticking to Narayan was the best option that KKR had? Especially, I mean, they're not picking up wickets. I mean, Narayan is not the usual, I mean, the deadly bowler that we used to know, especially in years in the past. He's not that kind of bowler anymore. So your thoughts? I mean, KKR always sticking with Narayan right now. Is that the best option for them?
I think the logic is slightly different. So right now, they have started playing Suyash Sharma also along with Sunil Narayan. So till last season, they were just sticking with Sunil Narayan, Varun Chakravarti. This season,
Yeah.
they have also introduced Suyash Sharma, whose role is pretty much similar to what Narayan offers to the team. So if you look
Yes.
at Sunil Narayan this season, he didn't get that many wickets, but Suyash Sharma got wickets. But on the economy front, Sunil Narayan has done pretty decent job this season. So if
Yes.
you combine the impact of Varun Chakravarti, Sunil Narayan, and Suresh Sharma, so those 10 overs have been really good from KKR's perspective. So
Yeah.
as long as they are looking at Sunil Narayan to produce those economic overs and he's doing that, I think he'll be in the playing level.
Agreed. So let's talk about Rajasthan Royals and then Yuzvendra Chahal yesterday. He's the highest wicket taker in IPL history right now with 184 wickets. I mean, incredible career right now. He's already got 48 wickets in 2 seasons and already has picked up 20 plus wickets. Your thought about UZ, because wherever he goes in RCB also, he was very successful at Chinmas Farm, even though it was a small ground, not assisting much for the spinners, and still he took 100 plus wickets. And now with RR, he's doing an incredible job. Very underrated bowler as well. Your thoughts about UC? I mean, especially him missing two 2020 World Cups also for India, and somehow he's still doing this in IPL also. I just can't imagine.
Yeah, I think Husey is that kind of a bowler. If he has captain's backing, then he'll produce the goods for you throughout the season. Like there will be some games in which he will go for runs. The teams will take him in those 4 overs, but he's that kind of a bowler. If he goes for runs in one game, then he'll definitely give you those returns in the next game. So RR as a franchise has given that kind of backing to Yuzvendra Chahal that was very much needed. And then the UZ Chahal's partnership along with Ravichandran Ashwin at the other end. So this partnership has complemented very well in the middle overs, where one of them have tried to be economical and other one have tried to take wickets, or vice
Yeah,
versa. So I
yeah.
think when we talk about spinners in the middle overs, we need to talk about that partnership, and I think Ravichandran Ashwin also received uh, the same compliment and praise that Chahal has to receive.
Yes. And do you think yesterday RR got the bowling combinations right, especially bringing in K. Asif? I don't know why still they're not bringing in Kuldeep Sen. But still, do you think that K. Asif was a better option than Kuldeep Yadav, who bowled the fast bowler, who bowled that last match and considered 50 runs? Do you think RR got their bowling combinations right at 18 guns yesterday, especially the fast bowling lineup?
I think they don't know so far in the season. They don't know how to use the impact player so far. If it's a batter, then they have that clarity. Okay, we'll bring someone like Dhruv Jurel or someone like Devat Particle into the 11. But if they are asked to bring in a bowler as an impact sub, then they are clueless. Like they have tried every possible combinations in every game and they haven't been successful so far. Last game
Agree.
they tried Ovid McCoy and then he just bowled 1 over. Like they could have used him at the death. That's the reason that why they bought him. But like I somehow don't understand like why they have not been able to crack the impact sub rule, especially when they are bowling second.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let's talk about the RR batting and especially this kid, Yashasvi Jaiswal, 21-year-old. Yesterday, he scored the fastest 15 IPL in 13 balls. Yesterday, broke the record of KL Rahul. And I mean, an incredible season so far. I mean, 500 plus runs leading in the IPL charts right now. Your thoughts about Yashasvi? Like a lot of people right now are saying he should come enter the Indian national team with the way that he's performing, but do you think like 1 or 2 seasons is enough to like justify his place in the Indian national team, because we've seen in the past also players who have come from IPL based performance haven't quite really hit the mark in IPL. But anyways, your thoughts about Yashasvi Jaiswal still this season, and especially yesterday's knock as well?
Yeah, I think it's not just this season. So last couple of seasons he has been showing those glimpses, but this season has been a breakthrough season for Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's definitely going to win the Emerging Player Award. Then there might be a case where he can also win the Orange Cap. Uh, because if RR qualifies for playoffs and RCB doesn't, then there is very high chance that Jaiswal goes above Faf in that orange cap race. But as far
Yeah.
as Indian team is concerned, so right now there is still a lot of time for the 50 over World Cup. So in these 3 months, there might be some cases where Indian team can try Yashasvi Jaiswal in the opening slot, and if he clicks, then we might see him in the squad, definitely. But I'm not sure about the 50 over World Cup, but definitely in the next year's T20 World Cup, I definitely see Yashasvi Jaiswal making into the side and in the playing 11.
I agree. And the way that, I mean, unfortunately, he missed the 100 with the way that he went. But I mean, getting fast as 50 and being 21 years as well. And Sanju Samson also was supporting in the end also. Your thoughts that, especially that partnership between Jaiswal and Samson as well, the Samson, his role as well, attacking the KKR spinners also towards the end. Unfortunately, Jaiswal couldn't get that 100. It was not enough runs. But I mean, still, regardless, it was a team effort. And somehow the win is the thing that matters the most.
Yeah, if you see RR's, the reason for RR's success in this particular season, apart from their bowling lineup, it has been the top three: Jaiswal, Butler, Samson, and most of the games, two of their top three have delivered. So, be it Jaiswal, Butler, be it Butler, Samson, be it Jaiswal, Samson, in any particular order. So now, going into the back end of the tournament, the problem is that once they lose their top three, for example, 24-3, like what happened in last year's IPL final. They lost three quick wickets. Then they didn't have any clue how to get from this particular situation. So if you ask if a team is 24-3, then which particular team is likely to reach a 180 target, then I would say GT or MI still has that kind of batting lineup, but RR doesn't. They are very heavily reliant on their top three. So I'm still waiting for a situation where they lose their top three and still make it to a 160 or 170. I think that's what is stopping RR from winning the title this time.
Yeah. All right. Let's take the comment section over here. Varun here says, was this an expected points table? Who are the biggest disappointments this season as players and the most disappointing team as well? So Anas, if you can show the points table also, that will be great. So I think right now it's a very interesting points table. Right now, RR have gone to third. They lost the last three as well, Rajasthan, but they managed to bounce back and win yesterday's match. But your thoughts, especially thoughts on that points table, because it's like being the closest ever IPL IPL contest this season, especially in the regular season this time around. Because I mean, maybe DC and KK are out after that match, but you never know. I mean, a team could qualify with 14 points as well if other results go their way. So your thoughts on that, Deep?
I think when we did preseason analysis, then I think we all rated Sunrisers Hyderabad very highly, and we all agreed that Sunrisers Hyderabad is a team that will definitely finish in top four, or if not, definitely finish in top five. So I think
Yes.
SRH's campaign has been a disappointing one, and the reason that I say is that we discussed that the captain has to lead from front. So that has
Hmm.
been the reason of SRH success. When Warner performed well, SRH performed well. When Kane performed well, SRH performed well. So when
Yeah.
these two didn't perform well, SRH didn't perform well. Same is in this season also. The Markram didn't perform that well, and SRH campaign is, the points table says it all. So I
Yeah.
think SRH campaign is something that has been very disappointing one, because we all rated SRH very highly. And as
Yeah.
far as the, I think, okay, he
Points
didn't
table.
players, okay, he asked players also. So I think we all agree that uh, I think a lot of SRH fans were expecting that Harry Brook will perform really well.
Hmm.
That's why he has been paid those big bucks, but that didn't click for SRH somehow, and then they try to persist with it, and now they have replaced him with Glenn Phillips, which I think they would have done a lot earlier. And so let's see how the remaining matches go for SRH. But I think Harry Brook has been the biggest let off this season.
Hmm. I think even Ben Stokes right now for CSK, I think he's resting the bench, whereas the rest of the other foreign players are performing for CSK. I don't know when Ben Stokes will come back, yeah, but he's also not been having a good season despite going for like 17 or 17.5 crores this season.
Yeah, I think, but CSK has been a very clever franchise. So once they realized that Ben Stokes is not fitting into their XI and not delivering up to the expectations, they didn't persist with Ben Stokes, right?
Mm.
And then they they got different players to play that particular role. And I
Yes,
think Shivam Dubey has been exceptionally well. And
yes,
that's why they didn't need Ben Stokes as a batter to bash the spinners. So that
agreed.
clicked for CSK. And then they could have Pathirana and Tikshana both as the overseas bowlers. So that has been a very successful duo for CSK this season.
Agree. And do you think that a team with 14 points could qualify this season, seeing how the matches are going right now? And if results go otherwise, I mean, if GT win their remaining matches and if CSK start losing, they are, I mean, they face Delhi and some other teams next. So if they start losing as well, do you think like a team with 14 points could reach the playoffs, seeing how teams from the bottom are starting to win and right now?
I think that depends on where LSG is finishing, because they can either finish at 15 or 11, depending on which teams are finishing at 14. So it will be very difficult for a team at 14 to qualify, given the run rate that LSG has. So because their one of their games was washed out. So I think
Yeah.
more or less GT and CSK are like almost there, but
Yes.
I think
Agree.
for the remaining two spots, it would be good for the points table if GT wins today. So we'll have
Mm.
at least three spots open. If MI wins
Yes.
today, then we'll have like very tough competition for the remaining spots.
Agree. Let's talk about today's match, especially Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat Titans. I think it's going to be all right. We got a comment over here from Anas as well. Before going to the GT versus MI, RCB is having a seesaw kind of a season. Do you think they can qualify for playoffs? It's one of the closest points table I have seen in IPL. Your thoughts about RCB, because as usual they've been inconsistent this season. They've gone to the playoffs also like 3 out of 4 seasons, but I mean three seasons, but this season it seems like RCB could miss the playoffs with the way that they're performing right now. But anyways, your thoughts on RCB?
I think before the start of the season, also when we were comparing RCB and RR, like I always rated RCB a notch higher than RR, and I was kind of expecting that RCB will qualify and RR will not. So I think
Yes.
I'll stick to the same decision. So I somehow don't see RR qualifying. So for me, the four are Gujarat, Chennai, Mumbai, and RCB. So let's see how this plays out.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about today's match, which is Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat Titans. That's going to be a very interesting match. Let's talk about GT first of all, because I mean, about GT, I mean, all 11 players are performing right now. I mean, when they brought in new additions like Noor Ahmad and particular other players, Mohit Sharma also brought in, they were performing as well. Now we're seeing the likes of Saha and I mean, Saha performing as well, and in the middle order, Manohar and Tripathi also performing right now. So, your thoughts about GT overall, Deep?
Yeah. So today's match is between a team versus individual brilliance. So Gujarat Titans relies on a team, whereas Mumbai Indians relies on individual brilliance, where they are heavily dependent on Sky to provide that explosiveness in the middle order. And if we can somehow get Sky, then it's Gujarat's game. So as far as Gujarat Titan is concerned, so everyone has to play their particular roles for Gujarat to win the game, right? So Mohammad Shami has to take the initial wickets. Then in the middle overs, Noor and Rashid has to take those wickets and especially get the wicket of Sky. And then at the back end, you already have Mohit Sharma, and we'll probably bring in Alzari as an impact sub, right? So today's match is going to be very much dependent on the toss, because Dew will play a very important role here. So the team that will be chasing in today's game, they will fancy their chances more. So if MI is chasing, then it will be a huge boost for MI, because their batters, they usually like to chase on 1K. Whereas if you look at Gujarat, they have usually defended the scores really well this season. So in this particular game, I would like Gujarat to chase, because that will help them going forward in the tournament.
I agree. And talking about Mumbai Indians, especially their bowling attack, I mean, I think Madhaval, I think, did well, I mean, the final over, but they somehow chased down 180. I think today it's in Bankare as well. So, and my strength also has been chasing as well this season. The way that they've been chasing has been brilliant this season. But coming to you, Deep, your thoughts, I mean, Surya Kumar Yadav, and I mean, especially Tilak Verma, the way that he's been stepping up, and especially this new player Nehal Vadera has been performing brilliantly, back-to-back 50s as well. So your thoughts about the middle order, especially Vadera, Sky, and I mean Tim David Rose has been contributing as well. So your thoughts about that middle order of Mumbai Indians this season?
I think they have a really, really good batting lineup, and if they are chasing, they are a very dangerous side. And I think 8 out of 10 times they can defeat all the teams that are playing in the IPL right now with this particular batting lineup, even if Rohit Sharma is not in form. So that's the
Yeah.
kind of batting lineup that they have. But the problem is, if on 1K day they are trying to defend the total, even if it's 200 plus, I don't think they have the bowling lineup to defend that particular total. So any team playing against MI, if they are chasing, they will definitely fancy their chances, and especially a team like Gujarat Titans, where they are filled with power hitters.
Yes, I agree with you. And your thoughts also of Chris Jordan, because he was brought in immediately, I mean, to the match. I mean, especially when Arthur was obviously been left out. I mean, he's obviously been released from the franchise due to that elbow injury, and then Chris Jordan was brought in. So, your thoughts? I mean, Chris Jordan first match. I mean, it was okay, but do you think he was like the ideal replacement for Jafra Archer with the way that he performs in the death? We know he's not a proper death ball at times, even though we know that he is a bowler who can pick up wickets. But anyways, your thoughts about Jordan?
I think what other options they had. So if you look at the options that were available to fill in Jofra Archer's shoes, so I think Chris Jordan was the only one. So he can give in that batting depth, so that they can have an extra bowler and play Jordan at number 7 if needed. So
Mm,
I think maybe that was the reason that they picked Chris Jordan.
yeah,
And along with Chris Jordan, what they have started to do is they have started to include Madwal. So
yes,
Behrendorff with the new ball, and then Madwal and Jordan. So they kind of complete their bowling attack, along with Cameron Green as the pacer who can chip in anywhere. So I
yeah,
think this bowling attack will I think it will be tested this time against GT. So let's see
mm,
how Jordan performs. So
yes,
if he's able to contain runs against GT's batting order, then I think it will give huge boost to MI's confidence. But I think it's a good combination given the options that they had.
yes, I agree. And coming to Gujarat Titans, also let's talk about Mohit Sharma, because the way that he's written, especially when Yash Dayal had a bad day, that match against KKR, and he was suddenly dropped. I mean, with the way that he conceded those 5 sixes to Rinku, and then Mohit Sharma was brought in straight away, and the way that he's made an impact. I mean, him being used as impact playing in the bowling lineup of GT as well. Your thoughts, because we haven't seen that type of bowling from Mohit Sharma. I mean, this kind of consistency from Rohit Sharma since he last played for CSK back in 2018-19. So your thoughts, especially after 4 years, seeing this sort of performance from Mohit Sharma this season. He's been regarded as one of the best death bowling also for in the IPL so far. So your thoughts on him?
I think Mohit Sharma has been exceptional this season for Gujarat Titans, and he's one of the main reasons of Gujarat Titans' success in this particular season. Because what Mohit Sharma's inclusion has done in Gujarat side is that now they can go with Shami and Mohit Sharma and Hardik plus two overseas spinners, Rashid and Noor. So we
Ram.
got five proper bowlers who can give 5 overs each. Then if there is a collapse, then they can add it they can add Dasun Shanaka as an impact sub. Otherwise, they can have a third overseas bowler as an impact sub. That's Aljari Joseph. So I think GT is one of those teams, and I think only team where they are playing three overseas, out and out overseas specialist bowlers, and I think that has helped them really well this season.
Yeah.
And that has happened only because Mohit Sharma has been performing really well.
Yes, and we've seen GT having two of the best, best bowlers in their top five highest wicket takers right now in IPL, with Mohammad Shami having 19 and Rashid Khan having 19. Last season we didn't see Rashid we saw Rashid obviously scoring the runs and wickets, but not this type of impact like last season. Even though GT won the IPL, but this season Rashid Khan and even Shami, both of them have really stepped up and picking up wickets regularly, especially Shami in the power play, picking up wickets and troubling most teams. And then Rashid Khan, the way that he's also been bowling as well, it's been brilliant. So, your thoughts regarding both these players?
I think if you look at the overall bowling lineup and especially these two, so you won't find any weak links that batters can target, especially
Yeah,
Mohammad Shami with the new ball, Rashid Khan in the middle, and as you know, Mohit Sharma, the proven death bowler at the back end. So together, if you see, it's a complete bowling unit. And if Shami doesn't take wickets with the new ball, then Rashid usually steps in and takes wickets. And then if you look
yeah,
at the middle overs economy and the economy of Shami in the power play, so that has been exceptional and very good compared to other bowlers. So we got
yeah.
specialists for each phase of the game, and they have been doing that role really well. So together, it's probably the best bowling attack that you can find in this particular season.
Mm, yes. And talking about the batting of GT as well, we've seen Saha performing every season. This season as well, he stepped up. Last the match against LSG, also he scored runs as well and scored 80 also in one innings. And then we've seen the middle order of Manohar, Tewatia, Hardik Pandya has been performing well when needed. David Miller has stepped up when necessary. So your thoughts on the top six of GT? They've gone with the same lineup. Sai Sudarshan played the first few games, but I think he got injured, and then Manohar came in and he's performing. So, your thoughts on the top six of GT, especially the batting order?
I think it's a very well settled batting unit, and we have some of the guys who can adapt to the situation, especially the starts that Saha and Gill have been giving. So I think I'm looking forward to today's game because Gill doesn't have that kind of numbers at 1K day. So what will happen and how GT will handle that pressure if they lose Gill's wicket early today? So who will bat at
Yes,
number three? Will it be Hardik Pandya or will it be Vijay Shankar or will it be Abhinav Manohar? So that's going to be a key decision that GT has to make if they lose Gill early today. So
yes,
I think it will again test their batting strength. As you mentioned, they have very good numbers from 1 to 6. They have Gill, they have Saha, then they have Vijay Shankar, Hardik, Miller, Tewatia, Manohar. So they all are specialists of particular phases of the game. But what will
yeah,
happen when they'll bat in a different phase of the game? So I think that
yes.
some team has to test them. So I think that's when GT's batting strength will be decided.
Yes, I agree with you. So let's go to prediction time, Deep. So let's go most wickets, most runs for both the teams, perhaps, and who do you think will win this match according to you, if possible?
Yeah, winner definitely GT. Uh, Most runs, I'll go with David Miller, and most wickets, I'll go with Chris Jordan.
All right. That's going to be interesting. So let's hope for the best today. GT, if they win, they'll obviously qualify today to the playoffs. And Mumbai Indians wins today, I think it's going to be very, very interesting in the points table as well. But I want to, before going to the quiz segment, I just want to discuss about CSK a bit as well. Deep this season, CSK with, the way that, the death bowling, especially, Patirana and Tushar Deshpande, the way that they've been performing has been incredible, and then the batting as well. When we've seen Rahane, we've seen other batters stepping up. Conway and Gaikwad both having 400 plus runs as well. So your thoughts about CSK this season? I mean, they've lost at home twice this season against RR and PBKs, but they've been really well, been doing well, especially away at home also. So your thoughts about CSK this season?
I think CSK has got that golden touch back since they have started playing at home, and MSD has looked very different this season as compared to last two seasons. And the kind of holes that they wanted to fill as compared to last seasons, I think they have found perfect players to fill those particular roles. And if you see in the last 2 or 3 games, now they got Deepak Chahar back from the injury, and Chahar has been exceptional with the new ball, and he got quick wickets in the power play. So that has sorted their power play wicket taking issues. So now if they go out and play outside Chepauk, so they have a very settled team, so that can play at home venues and also at outside. And especially Pathirana has been very impressive lad this season, and he has taken all that death bowling pressure and all that legacy that Dwayne Bravo has left behind. So I think it has been very difficult to take on Pathirana, and like I'm really looking forward to how his career goes on from here. But he has been really impressive, and especially in the middle overs, CSK is a very dangerous team when they are playing at home because they have Tikshana, they have Moin, they have Jadeja, and Jadeja is completely different bowlers when he plays on these kind of tracks. So going forward, if they manage to reach or qualify for the playoffs, then I think CSK will be a team to watch because they have everything that takes to win on Ahmedabad pitch.
Yeah. Do you see CSK getting into the top two spots this season with the way that now right now so their second spot? Do you see CSK getting the top and going to that qualify one match?
Yeah, I think like it's going to be Gujarat Titans versus CSK the final.
All right. Deep, let's get into the quiz segment. So I think we already discussed a lot about today's match and yesterday's match as well, and on teams as well. So let's get into the quiz segment and probably wrap things up. So Anas, if you can show the cricketer, I mean the image, if possible, so Deep can guess. Yeah, right. So let's just hold on. Yes, if you can show the cricketer so that Deep can probably guess the cricketer.
It's definitely from Mumbai. Definitely not Tilak Verma. Definitely not Sky. I would say Nihal Vadhera.
Who? Nehal Madera?
Uh,
No, that is not the answer. So the correct answer is Yash Kapoor actually, Lucknow Super Giant player.
oh, okay.
Yes. So Yash Kapoor is the answer. So he's been blurred. So yes. So that is the guest star segment. So let's go to the three IPL questions, if possible, Anas. First question, if possible. Yeah. Yes. So it is Yash Kapoor as the answers. The three IPL questions, if possible, after that. For me, I think there's a small delay. Yes. Who took the only hat trick in IPL 2022? Yes.
Is it Varun Chakravarti?
Could you repeat, Deep?
Is it Varun Chakravarti?
Varun Chakravarti? No, that is not the right answer.
Oh,
Maybe give another chance. A spinner definitely, but not Varun Chakravarti.
okay. Uh, mm, like, can you give me hint about the franchise? Is it
It's a bit hard. I mean, right now
is
he's
it Rashid Khan? Is it Rashid Khan?
no. It is Yuzvendra Chahal. It is UZ. If I
Yeah, okay,
gave
okay.
yes. So the answer is UZ. So that is the right answer. So let's
Okay.
get into the second question, if possible. Yeah. All right. So the first question is, who has the best strike rate in IPL 2023 so far? Minimum 2 innings.
it Rahul Tewatia?
It is not Rahul Tewatia. He just played those 2 innings, and he's a team from the lower end of the table, points table right now. That's the clue.
Or is it Nokia?
No, it is not Nokia. It is actually Glenn Phillips. Glenn Phillips, 2 innings
Oh,
so far. Yes,
okay.
his strike rate is around 238. Yes. So Glenn Phillips is the answer for that.
Okay.
And then the third question and last question for the which overseas player has the most runs for Punjab Kings or Kings 11 Punjab, as we know, in IPL history? Last
Sean Marsh.
question.
Sean Marsh.
Sean Marsh. Yes, that's the right answer. Yes. All right. So let's wrap things up. So thank you so much, Lee, once again for joining. The for that, yes. Yeah, so let's wrap things up. So thank you so much, Steve, once again for joining IPL Zone episode 10. So we discuss about GT versus MI and RR versus KKR. I hope you had a good time as well. And may GT win this year. Let the best team win. So thank you so much, Steve, once again for joining and accepting our invite.
Yeah, thanks for calling. I really had a great time.
Yes. All right, guys. So let's wrap things up. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. All the comment section. Do subscribe to the sport and hit like, comment, and share. And yes, see you until next week or the other week. So we'll be having a 1 week break after these things are not available. So we'll tune in, guys, to future IPL Zone videos. So until then, guys, have a great day.